guys, and welcome to the Ready Hub with me, Dee. Today I'm going to take you through some yoga poses for a strong core. So grab yourself a comfortable spot and we can get started. So we're just going to start in a cross-legged seated position. We'll bring our awareness to the breath. So your legs can be crossed, spine is straight and long. We'll bring the shoulders up, back and down. We'll just bring the awareness to the breath as we begin to inhale and exhale through the nose. So your core is tight. We're breathing into the chest and the clavicle area. You're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And just close your eyes and focus on this breath for a few rounds. So this is the breath that we're going to work with throughout today's practice, keeping the core tight, deep breaths in and out through the nose. So today we're going to begin in a plank position. So we're going to come forward on our mat. You can come onto your knees. We're going to come down onto the elbows. So you can grab opposite elbows to make sure that they're shoulder distance apart. You can either interlace the fingers in front or place the palms flat on your mat. So your elbows come down under your shoulders. We're going to bring the feet back and come up into a plank position. We'll just take 5 breaths here. We'll bring the knees back down to the mat. Next, we're going to come up into a high plank. So we're going to bring the palms of the hands down under the shoulders. Again, we'll tuck the toes, core is tight, lifting the knees off of the mat. We'll hold it here for 5 breaths. Release the knees back down. So next we're going to come into a side plank. So we can bring that left arm in towards the center of the mat. So placing the palm firmly on the mat, we're going to turn towards the left hand side. Now you have a couple of options here. If you want to leave the left knee down, you can just come up into your side plank like this if this is enough of a stretch for you today. Or we're going to come to straighten both legs. So your arm is coming down under the left shoulder. You can bring that right hand to your hip, pushing into the palm and into the feet. You can lift both. We'll take 5 breaths here. Bringing the hand back down to the hip. And we'll do the same at the opposite side. So I'll just turn on my mat so I'm facing the camera. So we're going to come down onto the right arm. Comes down under the shoulder. Again, feel free to keep that right leg on the mat if you like, and just getting a good stretch here. Core is engaged. If you want to stretch both legs out, come up into a plank, you can leave your hand on your hip or reach that left arm up overhead. 5 breaths here. Exhaling back down. So we're going to come into a reverse plank this time. So you also have a couple of options here. You come to seated on your mat. So you can either have the knees bent and the soles of the feet on the mat. Bring your hands about an elbow distant behind, so you can measure if you like, just leaning back. Bring your palms back to about here. Keeping the knees bent. As you exhale, you can push the hips up towards the sky. Or stretch the legs out in front, point the toes. And as you exhale, pushing into the palms. It's also a good one for the arms. The core is engaged. We're going to lift up for 5 breaths. and exhaling, slowly lowering back down. Next, we're going to come into our boat pose. So our boat pose, come to seated on your mat. You're on your sit bones. You can inhale, lengthen the spine. Sitting up nice and tall. Gently leaning back. Come to lift the right leg, a left leg. See if you can lift both. Really engaging that core here. Bring your hands out to the sides. If this is difficult, you can even grab the back of the knees. Hold it here for a few breaths. Coming down, cross the legs in front. Bring the palms aside the bum. Just lifting up. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. Exhaling back down. As we come into our boat pose again. So wherever you're at here, engaging the core, making sure the spine remains straight and long. If you need to keep one foot down, just lift one leg. You can alternate between feet, really engaging that core. If you can lift both legs, it's great. Bring the arms out to the side. You can even try and straighten the legs this time. Hold for 5 breaths. Exhaling back down. Crossing the opposite leg in front this time, pushing into the palms. We'll lift up for a couple of breaths. Exhaling back down. We're going to come to lie down on our backs and do some bridge breathing. So the feet are hip distance apart, soles of the feet are flat on the mat. You should be able to gently touch your heels. So we're engaging our core here. So palms can be flat on the mat beside us. As we inhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, and lift the hips up towards the sky. Exhaling, slowly coming back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One last time. This time we'll come up and we'll hold it here for 5 breaths. Exhaling, slowly lowering back down. Pull the knees into the chest. Give them a little hug. Just gently massage your lower back on your mat. And finally, we're just going to stretch that left leg out in front. Gently raise the upper body. Bring that left elbow to the right knee. We'll just do a few rounds here. So alternate legs. Last round. Hug the knees into the chest. Let your upper body relax on the mat. Stretch the legs out in front. Heels come to the edges of the mat. Arms away from the body, palms facing up. As we come into Shavasana and just rest following your practice. Take a few deep breaths here. Just focusing on your breath. Noticing how your stomach rises as you inhale, falls as you exhale, as you let go of the activation in the belly. You just let your body totally surrender and relax following your practice. Next inhale, bring the feet together, reach the arms back overhead to lengthen. Stretch that whole body. Exhaling, bring the knees into the chest, giving them a hug. We're going to rock backwards and forwards to come up into seated. So inhaling back, exhaling up into seated position, cross-legged seated position. You can just bring your hands to your knees. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhaling, reaching the arms up overhead, bring them into prayer, and back to heart center. Namaste.